where we left. So if I have a sense of your work. So you basically left that company in November this year.
Yeah.
So that's that's last month. Yeah, it's hardly just a couple of weeks. Okay. What kind of salary were they giving you, if at all? What would your average take home be? Keeping these factors in mind, the fact that they weren't very.
It was not more than 12,000.
12,000 would be. Okay, fine. So your monthly expenditure, the total comes to about 15,000. 35,000, 8,400. 4,000 is the amount you owe to a friend, and then 4,80,000 for your father.
Yeah.
So how come you took this loan, 5 lakhs, from your dad?
It was just, I was just going through crunches in my life, so it was like I have to pay to someone else. He has worked his life.
Yeah.
And I think the money what he has made, he's given back to me.
He's still running the business?
Yeah.
Your uncles and all are also with him, everyone's working in that business. Okay, alright. So you still owe him about 4,80,000.
This is what the figure he has given me.
So all of this, none of these loans, even the personal loan of 1,50,000, these were all basically taken just to meet your expenses, your requirements.
Requirements, and that was just, I think I just needed a loan for, pay someone was 50,000-60,000, not more than that. In the meanwhile, the other money I invested in shares and mutual funds.
Okay. Now tell me something, Shyam. Even in the NCDX job, you were getting about 8,000. Motilal Oswal was much more comfortably, were at least getting about 19,500. Your expenditure, if we don't count the EMIs, comes to something which is within this figure. Why did you go in for these personal loans, credit cards? How did the loan thing start? I'm not understanding that.
Actually, I was I have discussed this thing with my father also. He just asked me, what is your monthly expenditure? Did you prepare that? And I was like, no, I have not prepared that. Where the money goes right now, and it was more on friends. I go out.
Yes, friends. His friends are the main problem. Friends are the main problem. He's got 14 friends from whom he has borrowed. Yes. And borrowing is never a one-way traffic. If he borrows, they would also be borrowing from him. And that is where his father is now has funded him for this kind of extravagance life. And his friends are having a good time. They're going to movies, they may be going to restaurants, they may be buying things. What typically happens is, there is a lot of misinformation that is fed into the people. Anybody would like to know what the interest cost is, barring a few. They will say, koi khas nahi hai, 2%. No, he thinks, all right, 2% is good. But it is actually, it translates into 24%.
It's per month.
It is per month. The compounding is on a monthly basis. And secondly, if you don't pay, then there are added fines and penalties and all that. So these things are not revealed at a time, although they give all those prints, fine prints as they say. But who reads that? He's worried more about signing at the back and swiping with his whatever PIN number is there. And here I think there is some responsibility attached to the financial institutions and credit card companies that you are spoiling the whole generation. And in the process, they also suffer. It's not that their loans, their monies are coming back. They are loaded with a whole lot of NPAs. What are they going to do with that? How are they going to write off all those things? They are answerable to their own financial institutions and their auditors.
Yes, I can cut back on my expenses, maybe a mobile, maybe a petrol allowance, maybe not going out for movies or anything, not going to Jamnagar for at least a month or 2 or 3, maybe for a year. I can go down on, there's a festival, then I can go down to Jamnagar for at least 3 or 4 days. That is okay for me, but then at the same time, going back to Jamnagar, I think that is not going to work for me, because I want to work something of my own. I know that I have created a mess. I will try to improve that, that's for sure. I can work hard for that. That is what I know. I work very tough for it.
What makes the situation more complicated for Shyam is that he has no job at present to speak of.
The small savings only make big savings. If you are thinking of a mutual fund or 10,000, 12,000 rupees in one shot, you put it in mutual funds and you think that, all right, I'll get very big returns. Okay, there is no dispute on that, but it doesn't generally happen.
This is what I like to say, and I'll just promise myself that you don't have to look back. You'll just be proud of your son one day. That's what I want.
situation, I think the solution will come from the boy himself. I think he is responsible for all the mess, and he is the one who is going to, pull him out of this. And that is by actually sensible planning and a bit of discipline and hard work. Unless and until he gets a job, unless he gets some assured incomes, I don't think the problem will get solved. So the crux is that get some income coming.
While he started becoming ambitious and dreaming and thinking that he can live a life on his own, very simple, and this would happen in so many cases, the reality didn't catch up till now, when he's staring at that debt of 6 lakh rupees on his head. Now he's just about started thinking of reality. I mean, he's not even ready to accept it or let alone do anything about it. That's been our endeavor here, to try and drive that into his head, that kid, you've got to get up now before it's too late. So that was the basis of most of my conversations with him as well, to just try and make him understand that nothing is going to happen till you keep living in your paradise world, so to speak. So
actually, I was just trying to see what are the positive sides of this case and what are the negative sides. The positive that I see is that I think he's ambitious and he would like to do something. His energy is to be channelized in the right direction.
Shyam, what I'm going to say is not going to be easy for me to say and not going to be easy for you to hear. We spoke to the planners. There are lifestyle issues here that need to be dealt with immediately. It's wake up time. That's their solution in a nutshell. They're very clear. They've basically chalked out 2 scenarios and they're hard. Plan A involves you dropping your life in Ahmedabad, wrapping up in one go and going back to Jamnagar with your family. The second plan, if you intend to be on your own and establish yourself in the city and you are hell-bent upon making your life, then you need a reality check. You need to get a job at any cost, come what may. One good thing working on your side, Shyam, is age. You've got nothing else in life right now, but you've got age on your side.
Still I got almost...
You're not married, you don't have a liability in terms of funding a family or raising a family.
Whatever you said me, I think that is very much right, but plan A is not going to work for me, because I think going back to Jamnagar with a defeat, I think I'll not take that. Instead of it, I'll go for plan B. I'll work very hard. At least I know how I can work, where the money is coming from, where I can earn the money from. I know that. While talking to Surbhi and financial planners, whatever they told me, it has been tough words from them. I know I've created a mess, created a mistake for myself. But then the things what they said to me was very much correct, and I'll just try to save more money. Whatever the mistakes and mess what I've done, I'll just stop that and I'll work hard on my savings, or maybe I'll work very much hard so that I can save a bit of money. And just something what I would like to tell to my dad is, I'll just promise you one thing: whatever the mess I've created for you and for me and for our family, I'll not do that. And I'll promise myself that I'll save more money. Maybe I'll work hard I'll do 2 jobs. Maybe I'll work overtime and I'll save good money out of it. I'll just save good money. I promise you that you'll be proud of your son rather than looking down, or maybe I don't have words to say, but then I'll just say sorry to you, Dad. This is what I like to say, and I'll just promise myself that you don't have to look back. You'll just be proud of your son one day. It's what I think.
Their way of thinking, because they're coming from typical Gujarati families, entrenched in business, but that's not what they want to do. They want to be independent. So it's kind of admirable looking at them, realizing that they could have had a very comfortable, simple life back with their family business, but true to the inherent Gujarati spirit, they want to start something of their own. So they're in that transition phase. Let's see. they manage to sort of get the hard work going to actually back up their ambition and their plans that they keep speaking of. But interesting, very interesting to note. I have to admire them for taking that step and the courage, showing the courage to come out of a very easy atmosphere, very comfortable, cushy atmosphere, and the protective atmosphere of their house, come back and be on their own essentially. So it's interesting.